How you guys doing? Welcome to Phie.Love Intuitive Conversations. I hope you guys are good. Yeah. If you like my content, please do like, share, and subscribe. And yeah, if there's any negativity, if there's any hate, please do keep that on your side of the street, okay? It won't be acknowledged. So, family, in this video, I'm being guided by Spirit to briefly talk about. Okay, so a few videos ago, I'll tag the video below. I did a video that focused around being bound to certain people and relationships in our lives, right? And sort of needing to put a higher perspective to what it actually entails when we are embarking on unbinding ourselves from people that we have toxic connections and relationships with, right? I spoke as simply as I could on the spiritual ties that we develop with people and the spiritual cords, and I went into a little bit of detail around all of that and how it takes more than just your mental to actually sever certain ties and cords with people that you find yourself bound, that you find yourself binded, what? English. And struggle, kind of removing those certain people and energies or spirits that come with those people out of your life, right? So in that video, I also brought up an aspect around us incarnating and coming into our lifetime, into this lifetime, with a lot of coming in with things from past lifetimes within our soul memory, as well as within our energetic memory that we embody with, right? This is a vessel. Our bodies, they're all just, they're vessels, right? They're containers that hold our souls and the energetic memory that our soul come in with, right? And we have different bodies. You've got your soul body, you've got your energetic body, you've got your spiritual body, your etheric body. It is, we have layers. We're made up of layers spiritually, and then also in a physical sense, we're also made up of layers, right? That's our universe. It's it's a blueprint that may look different, but the pattern is the same. It's all made up of layers. There's a pattern and there's a similarity in everything that is made up within our universe that you can tell, okay, this is the blueprint of this universe. This is the blueprint of the nature of this universe. And you'll find different versions of the same blueprint in everything that is of nature, right? Everything that is divine. I'm not talking about artificial things. I'm talking about things that are of the divine, things that are of the universe, things that are of the earth, things that are of this realm, right? So what Spirit would like me to talk about in this video, without veering off too far, is if you're guided to this video, Spirit would like you to sort of put a higher perspective, a spiritual perspective, right, to certain things that you might be going through. If you find yourself in a place in your life where you're recognizing that, you're going through certain cycles. There's certain cycles that feel the same, that smell the same, that that look the same, that make you that make you feel like you're going through the same experience over and over, either with the same person or with different people, right? Spirit would like you to put a higher spiritual perspective to what might be going on. Remove and divorce yourself from thinking or feeling or perceiving your situations from the perspective of being their victim, from the perspective of those situations happening to you, right? You can ground yourself and try and detach from the emotions and the details and the events that have triggered high emotion in you, because what we attach to and what holds us captive in our minds when we're going through or trying to work through certain things is the emotion of a specific moment within an event that we've gone through or that we're going through or that somebody has triggered us to experience, right? There's a moment of emotion that happens that you struggle to integrate, and that becomes the story, that becomes the event, that becomes the focus point, the emotion that you get stuck in, that the emotion of the moment, right? So Spirit would like you to sort of divorce yourself from the emotion, divorce yourself from the event, from whatever it is you've gotten stuck on, okay? And try and take a little bit of a higher perspective to what might be going on, trying to cycle out of your life. What are these cycles of issues that you find yourself going through with people trying to mirror to you about an energy you might hold or something you've carried in with you on a soul level within your soul memory, right? That you need to now face, recognize, okay, maybe there's something within me. Maybe there's an energy I'm attached to. Maybe there's an emotion. Maybe there's something I need to work out, something I need to evolve out of. These cycles will continue happening, and if you're paying attention, even if it's just a little bit, right? If you're paying attention, every time you go through the cycle, either with the same person or with somebody else, you learn something, even if it's just a little bit. The tolerance that you had for the person or the situation in the beginning is no longer as enduring and willing, right? The tolerance has sort of shortened because you're learning, you're no longer being able to tolerate certain things because your perspective is rising. You no longer are wanting to withstand through certain things because you're learning, even if it might not always be conscious. And these cycles will keep on happening until you get to a point of confronting the cycle or the situation from a higher awareness, from a higher position and a higher point of awareness, that you start operating out of that higher awareness and then eventually make a different choice for yourself. Make a different choice against a situation. Embody the higher awareness so that that cycle, that energy, that situation is no longer able to engage with you, attach with you. And you'll recognize it in the next person. So to the point that you won't even allow such a person who holds that energy, who holds a behavior, who reminds you of something that you've had to work through, go through, or have perpetually had to endure and pick yourself up from. These things need to be cleared out, and for many people it can take lifetimes to clear certain things out because they're attached to the event, They're attached to the moment. They're attached to the relationship. They're attached to the emotion. They're attached to the person. They're attached to their programming of their ideas of the certain dynamic of a relationship. These things can take people lifetimes to work out and to settle, simply because of a mindset, simply because of a fear of letting go, simply because of an inability to look at yourself, to recognize yourself, to take accountability. Look at yourself and ask yourself, is this an energy within me? What do I need to evolve out of? How can I stop making it about the next person? How can I stop allowing the outside to offend me, to unsettle me? How can I this time round step back and take a moment to see, what could I be holding within myself that's been attracting this situation to me? What is this situation mirroring to me about my decisions, my energy, my mindset? What do I need to evolve out of? What would the higher awareness and perspective be that I, could be residing in to protect me and stop me from engaging and existing in a certain energy and space and vibration and continuous cycle of events with a person or people in my life? Who am I afraid to let go of? Why am I afraid to let go of them? What is the mindset that I'm holding? What would it look like the next time I confront this situation from a higher point of awareness? What am I supposed to be learning? Where am I just being reactive? In every situation, before you start making it about the next person, interrogate yourself. Find space to be on your own. You can't change what other people do to you. You can't control what other people do to you. But you can control what it is within you that is attracting them. What it is within you that situation they bring into your life is challenging you to learn and overcome. Challenging you to learn and observe about them and the situation. Okay? So just take a higher perspective to the cycles that you find yourself in. The cycles are there because of something that's going on within you. Cycles of always having children. Cycles of arguments. Cycles of ending up with people who make you feel or who push you into a position of being disempowered. All these things are things that are for you to go within and look within yourself, evolve, and gain your higher awareness so that you start operating out of that higher awareness without the fear and without feeling like you need to sacrifice your position of higher awareness and your ability to decide out of that higher awareness for the comfort and the balance of others on the outside. Stop always sacrificing yourself, your peace and your balance for the benefit and comfort of others on the outside because you're afraid to rock someone's boat. You're afraid to upset the status quo. You're afraid to injure someone's feelings by you choosing yourself and standing your ground or saying no. By you choosing not to engage the drama. By you recognizing that somebody else is coming to you with an energy and a vibration that is not your story. When you're going through things and you're taking the time to sort of put a higher perspective to it all, maybe write down what I'm about to tell you. If you can perceive your situation to be loss, right? When you're going through something that feels like a loss, understand that on a higher level, the universe, the divine, are repositioning you. If you're going through a situation with something or someone on the outside that feels like a betrayal, understand that on a higher level, the divine and the universe are liberating you from false attachments. It's not for you to let your emotions and your fears and the attachments you have with people keep you in those situations that constantly have you in a place of betrayal. Repositioning yourself to be betrayed over and over and over again. When a betrayal happens, forgiving doesn't mean keeping somebody in your life. If someone is betraying you and the divine has allowed you to endure a betrayal from somebody, it's there to awaken you to the person and to liberate you from the false attachment. Betrayal is for liberation from false attachments. Okay. And endings are generally a protection for the soul. The endings protect your soul. Things end to avoid your soul going through, unnecessary injury in the future had you stayed in certain cycles and situations and relationships with certain people. Because on a higher level, you also have the divine realm trying to protect you and trying to move you through your lifetime, not carrying through into the next lifetime and things that are not necessary for you to have to go through. Injuries to the energetic and soul body that can be inflicted from being in places and around people and attached to people on the outside that you don't need to be experiencing. You don't need to be you don't need to be taking on those experiences from others. Okay? So maybe write it down. Put it on the mirror in the bathroom. Write it into the first page of your journal, right? Loss is to reposition you. Betrayal is to liberate you from false attachments, and endings are protection for your soul. Okay? It really helps. It helps raise the perspective, and it helps you not make whatever is happening in your life about the issue or the situation or the story on the outside. It makes it about you, your soul, your experience, your journey, and the reality that you've come in to work out for yourself. There's a reason why in spiritual teachings you're taught to detach. Learn to detach from things, because by way of detachment you can see clearly. When you're detached, you don't allow those things to affect you and stay with you and get stuck in your own system, causing blockages, blocking you from seeing higher perspective, blocking you from making decisions that are for your highest good. So yes, loss, betrayal, and endings, even though they're painful, even though they make you feel like things are happening to you, they're all happening for you. You just have to be open to willing to see it and try and remove yourself from the movie programming, right? Of how you've been programmed to process and digest and expect and so and think that the way you've been trained to interpret those situations and attach to and feel about such situations on the outside is logical. It's not. It's not. It's all we've been primed to interpret the behavior of things and people on the outside a certain way because it keeps us in a lower vibration. It keeps us bound. It keeps us disturbed. It keeps us in a place of always being the victim and never moving into a place where our energy and our soul and our insides are actually evolving, ascending, and healing themselves. Okay, so I hope it's helped. I hope it's, helped you consider and put a higher perspective and awareness to whatever it is you might be going through in your life, and recognize that it really isn't what you think it is. It's happening to enlighten you to yourself. It's happening to move you into a higher awareness, so that when the cycle, or however people like to call it in the world, when the test comes around again, right? When the test comes around, somebody challenging your authority, someone moving you into a situation where the divine wants to see, are you going to say no and stand your ground and choose yourself? Or are you going to again submit to the outside world? Are you going to let the person take control of your emotions, your thoughts, your anger, and consume the next 5, 10 days or 2 weeks of your life? Or are you going to choose the higher perspective, choose your higher awareness, learn and grow and evolve out of the old cycle of reaction, out of the old cycle of interpretation, out of the old cycle of dynamic? Evolve out of the submission to the external world. Evolve out of the external world, you allowing the external world to create your reality for you. Okay? Might be a lot to digest, so I'm gonna leave it there. Okay. Let's see. I'm gonna pull a card today from the Flower Therapy deck. Okay. By Doreen Virtue. Okay. Let's see what Spirit has to support our conversation, or give somebody who's watching our video a nudge in a specific direction. Okay. Let's see. Spirit might piece up one card to support our conversation, or give somebody who's watching our video a nudge in a specific direction. Okay. The card I got is uplift your thoughts. Okay? Bring yourself to a higher perspective. Don't get lost and consumed in the victim mentality. Okay? Recognize the cycles. Recognize the cycles where you haven't thought to recognize the cycles before. Okay? What is it that's always upsetting you? What are people doing on the outside that's always triggering you? Let that situation enlighten you to yourself. your higher awareness, so you can confront your cycles in the future when they come around again with a higher awareness. A mother who won't respect your boundaries. A mother who pushes back when you say no. You're a grown adult. I don't know why I'm talking about someone's mother. But you're a grown adult. And your mother still believes that she's got a whole grown man. Right? Why am I saying man? Anyway, a whole grown man. And your mother thinks that she still has the authority over your life. What you do, how you spend your money, who you engage with, who you decide is and isn't good for you, where you're going, stressing you out, not allowing you to stand in your own authority, not allowing you to live out of your own growth, undermining you, putting you always back into the energy of her child, of a child, submissive to her, and disregarding the respect that as a man, once you reach a certain time and age in your life, once you become a father, that you should be given, even from your mother, who you should be acknowledged as that, right? So, I don't know why we're talking about the mother, but I know mothers can be, especially with mothers and sons, it can be a bit of a challenge. They can make things very difficult and bring unnecessary limitation and restriction into your life, guilt, manipulation, entitlement. Women can get very territorial even when it's not warranted and when they have no place to be territorial, especially in their sons' lives. But anyway, I'm not sure exactly why I'm being led to say that, but if you're in that position, the divine needs you to step into your own authority, and the more you hold your authority, regardless of people's reactions and emotions, they will have no choice